This is the only mentality you need as a beginner to get in shape. You could hire the best coach in the world, but without this mentality, you're not going to get there. And let me explain what that is. You probably heard it all the time that in order to complete something, you need discipline. But what exactly is discipline? And this is the mentality that I want to show you, that I want to explain to you what discipline actually looks like. Discipline is basically doing something that you don't want to do because you made a promise to yourself that you're going to do it. Regardless of what happened, you're going to do it. So if you're just getting started to working out to get in shape, you have to think in terms of how can I force myself to do things that I don't want to do? Because the reality is this: there are going to be times when you feel like crap, when you don't want to work out, when you don't want to persist, and you want to stay in bed and you don't want to do anything. And you think to yourself, is this even worth it? This isn't worth it. It's not anything that I really want to do. It's hard, it's tough, it's painful to get up in the morning. It's painful to go to the gym. It's painful to grind out that last rep. But when it comes down to actually putting yourself in that position to make yourself do something, everybody keeps throwing this word around, discipline. Discipline is not a given. Discipline is such a valuable skill, valuable mentality that not everybody has it. And in order to obtain it, you have to build it. We're just born with discipline one day. You have to go through the times that you don't feel like going to the gym, and you have to push through in order to build that discipline day by day. So let's say you started working out, right? You promise yourself that you want to get a six pack. You promise yourself that you're going to eat right, you're going to train hard, you're going to follow through the six pack routine that you found on YouTube day by day. But there are going to be days that where you don't feel like doing it. There are going to be, actually, let's change that. 90% of the time that you're going to be training, you're going to have doubt. There are times when either it's too hot outside or it's too inconvenient, whether you have a lot of things on your schedule that you have to do, or you have to work that day, or you can't find the time. In order to combat that, in order to get through that, in order to really build discipline, in order to really achieve what you want, you're going to have to be raw with yourself. You're going to have to think, I'm going to do this no matter what happens tomorrow. I don't care if it's too hot outside. I don't care if it's too cold. I don't care if it's raining, if it's snowing. You're going to do this. You're going to force yourself to do this. And that is the foundationing building blocks of how you can build discipline. Discipline is not an overnight thing that you can obtain by watching some motivational videos. I don't know about anything else, but if you actually try, you are guaranteed to see results if you actually put in the work. Not lying to yourself that you put in the work, not doing things half-assed. When you're grinding through, when your body's in pain and you're pushing that last rep and you can't get it up, it's that mentality. It's that I can do this no matter what, and I'm going to do this regardless of how I feel. So if you're just a beginner, you don't need a coach, you don't need a mentor. All you have to do is develop that discipline. 90% of the time, 95% of the times, you're not going to feel like going to the gym. You're not going to feel like doing that six pack exercise. When I started my lifting journey, I didn't hire a coach, I didn't have a mentor. I just had to force myself to get up and do the things that I was supposed to do. Because the reality is this: if you're a beginner in your lifting journey and you don't know anything about the gym, you don't know anything about losing weight, you don't know anything about how to do a push up, all of those informations are free online. What you should be focusing on is building that discipline by yourself. You have to tell yourself that this is what I'm going to do. I don't care what happens tomorrow. I am going to stick to my plan. I don't care if I am alive tomorrow. I am going to work out. If I am not dead, if my hands and legs are functioning, I don't care how sore I am from the previous day. I don't care how much I have on my list tomorrow. I don't care what my schedule looks like. I am going to find the time to work out, to lift weights, or to go to the gym, to do what I'm supposed to do. So always think in terms of, I am here to build discipline, And that discipline is going to build me a better physique. That's what you should be thinking of. Not you should be thinking, it's not about, oh, am I seeing results today? If I'm not losing 5 pounds by the end of the day or by the end of the week, then all this exercise doesn't, it's useless. You should be thinking about, how can I effectively build discipline? When it comes down to it, it's only you versus you. I want you to remember something, and I want you to keep this in mind. You have to put a needle, you have to put a pin on that thought, and you have to think like, that is all fake. That thought, the doubt I feel, is completely fake. It's another subconscious of me that's trying to lead me to the path of least resistance, of comfort. So you have to identify it and you have to counter it. All right? There's going to be a lot of times where you don't where you are comfortable just the way you are and you don't want to get off your ass and go to the gym and work out. Every time when you conquer that feeling, that sense of doubt, your body will start to tell you and your mind will start to tell yourself that that thought was fake. That thought was bullshit, because you do feel like working out because you just warmed up. Now you're all warmed up. Your blood's pumping. Your blood's pumping through your veins, and you're lifting weights, and it feels good. So that thought that came before you warm up, before you hit the gym, before you lift up the weight, before you start working out, that thought is completely just you trying, your subconscious, your lazy version of you trying to pull you down. So whenever that thought comes up, identify it and put a pin into it and saying that this thought, this doubt that's dragging me down, that comes with a lot of excuses, whether it's too hot, too cold, or I'm too uncomfortable, whether I am too sore from the previous session, or I trained arms yesterday, I shouldn't train again today. That thought, you put a pin into it and you put it down. And you tell yourself that that thought is just fake. That thought is just trying to prevent me from building discipline. And always remember that it is you versus you. You're not only in the gym, you're not only working out, trying to build a better physique, trying to lose weight, trying to gain muscle, but your priority, the top of your list, is that you are working out, you are in the gym, and you are building discipline. That is your ultimate goal. And remember this, on the days where you feel the most uncomfortable, on the days where your excuses are stacked up this high, on the days when it's the most inconvenient for you to go to the gym and work out and stick to your plans, and if you actually stick to your plan and do what you're supposed to do on that day, because you were able to conquer your mind, even though everything is going against you, on that day, that's where change happens. That is where your mentality starts to slowly shift into the person that you once thought that you couldn't become. I hope this video helped.